But the penultimate F1 Grand Prix has happened, and it did not answer who's going to win the championship. In fact, it's complicated it even more. Sprint race saw Oscar Piastri take the top spot, with George Russell second, Lando Norris third, and the Red Bulls taking fourth and fifth, and the Williams 8th and 10th. But qualifying for the main races where it gets interesting, and do you have an update on
Yes, I do.
Al Horford's wife?
Yes, she is from the Dominican Republic. At the age of 18, she won the Miss Universe 2003 pageant, becoming the first ever Miss Universe from the Dominican Republic.
The more you know.
So there
Miss
you go.
Universe facts. We'll cover the next one next year, because I know the latest one just happened. It's not on our prep sheet. But in qualifying, Oscar Piastri, who was third in the Drivers' Championship and had been in the lead for quite some time, took pole, while his teammate Lando Norris, who is currently in the championship lead, was second, Max Verstappen in third, and both Mercedes in fourth and fifth, Hadjar in sixth, for Clerk in 10th, and Liam Lawson in 12th. That's qualifying. But in the race itself, it's a bit crazy. 4 DNFs, and Max Verstappen takes, I think that's his 5th win in a row. It's a lot of wins in a row for him, making a late charge for the title. Oscar Piastri finishes in second, and Carlos Sainz gets on the podium for Williams. In fact, Ferrari signed Lewis Hamilton, and he gets no podium so far this season. And the man they fired to hire Lewis Hamilton has 2. So I don't know if you made the right call.
I will say, like, a shout out to Williams, who have been the like, let's call them, I hate putting it in this term, but bottom feeders for quite a few years. And they've got 2 quality drivers now. I think they locked in either 4th or 5th spot in the Drivers' Championship this year. They've put in work.
This has been a long time coming. When they were getting from strength to strength, it was just a slow build, and they got more trust with drivers. And now look at them; they're doing very well.
They have 2 quality drivers.
And when everything changes upside down next year with car regulations, it'll be very interesting to see where everyone ends up.
Yeah, true.
And they'll have 2 very good drivers there to hopefully take them further than they have been. But
very true.
Apart from that, Liam Lawson gets into the points, finishing 9th, and Yuki Tsunoda finishes 10th. You don't actually say where Lando finishes here. I assume he's
Lando finished 4th.
But with the last race of the season next week in Abu Dhabi, 2:30 a.m. on Monday, wake up for it because it'll be a good time. Lando Norris leads the Drivers' Championship with 408 points. Max Verstappen is just 12 points behind them, 396, and Oscar Piastri has 392. There are viable scenarios for all 3 men to walk away with the Drivers' Championship. In my head, the funniest one is if Oscar Piastri somehow wins it after being in the lead, choking it, and then Max not winning it all, but Lando still choking and Oscar getting it. I think it'd be very, very funny.
That would be very funny. Can I be honest with you? I just for the story, I want to see Max win this shit.
Yeah, it means that Max would have won 5 in a row, equaling or beating Lewis's record. No, Lewis's record was 4 in a row. So he would beat Lewis's record of 4 in a row, and he'd match, I think Schumacher got 5 in a row at his peak.
I think
it would match Schumacher, it would beat Lewis, and it would probably stand Max very firmly in the debate for probably being the greatest F1 driver of all time. Which I think it's really Schumacher. You have the hardest task of debating about, and with Hamilton, it's almost like he's very close to Hamilton as of now, and if he wins this, I think you'd say
is Lewis affected though because he's still driving. If he had, let's say, if he had,
I don't think he is.
Yeah. Let's say he retired after the season he lost to Max.
I don't think that changes it at all. I know in some sports where you try to do it for so long, it does hinder it. But I think in Lewis's case, like, he still won a ridiculous amount, 7 or 8.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I think it's 8.
I think it's 8. Like, well, actually, no. I think it's maybe Max still has a lot to catch on Lewis in terms of total championships. I recant what I just said about him being the GOAT. I think he's very firmly, like, very much talking.
I think if he pulls this off, he should be. I think he should be in the conversation.
But obviously, at the same time, championships don't mean everything. But this is it would be one of the most dominant 5-year stretches, plus one where it all was seemingly going wrong, and you somehow recovered and brought it back, even if it was a little bit of McLaren's own wrongdoing and their own fault, and all of the issues plaguing Red Bull this year with Christian Horner and everything else, not being able to have a second driver.
But that's what would make it such an incredible story.
It would, and I think, and if Max would somehow win it again next year, then you go, okay. Because you can't just say, the person with the most championships in any sport is the best. In an individual sport, though, it does make sense compared to a team sport like the LeBron and Michael Jordan debate. People going 6 versus 4 in And it's like, well, Michael Jordan played in the 90s, but the competition was not as good. And LeBron, different types of competitions.
You can say different. I personally hate when somebody makes that argument that the competition is not as good. You could argue that the competition didn't have the technology that this competition has. Yeah, and that would have made them better back in the days. I personally, I don't like that.
But then you do see some clips of the average opponent, Michael Jordan, did have the face, and you go, okay, cool. I forgot what it was. It was trending earlier in the year. I think. Yeah. Oh, what was it called? People were saying this like one sentence, like it was like released the tapes or something. It was like, I think it was something like that, or like actually watching the footage of the super physical 90s basketball games and people being a little bit let down. But we're getting off track here because we're talking about F1. So it's on in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is on.
It's on 2:30 Monday morning. Go and watch it. I will try to wake up for it. The last time I woke up for Abu Dhabi, I think, was 2021 when Max overtook Lewis on the final lap and won his first championship.